Hi, it's Cindy with the Port Huron Recreation Department. Today we're on board for some snow owls. They're going to be two projects, one that's going to be a little more 3D and one's a 2D on paper with a little bit of paint and some different items to create a collage. So here we go. Okay, today we're going to work on a little snowy owl. Two snowy owls actually. One, we're going to start out with some paper and we're going to paint a little branch for the little snowy owl to sit on. I always try to do two of the paint portions, one that we actually do wet, and then I take the dried one and add to that, so it's a little easier. I've got some brown, some white, and some yellow on my palette. It's just a little guy, Cafe Mocha. It's kind of dark. If I wanted to lighten it up, I could add either some of the yellow to it. It would make it a little orangier, or add a little bit white to it. You'd want to do this if you couldn't see it in the background. So this had a little bit of white in there. And it kind of makes it look a little, when I blended it together, I first started with some white because I was painting something white. And then I added a little brown to that and I mixed it. It mixed together kind of right on the paper itself. I like doing that a lot because it gives it more of an effect. It looks more natural too, because if you look at twigs and stuff, they usually have more dimension because they've got different colors because of the different light that that reflects off of it. So I'm going to take this palette and just start off the edge. Give him a nice little branch that he can sit on. And I think I will add a little bit of the white. See what I'm doing now? That's just going to sit right on top of there. So see how that's blending in right there. Do it a little bit more. Come back in with a little more brown. And add some more of the branch. Kind of give it a couple little limbs to it too. And if you don't like the way the brown added right there, just bring it up through again, like that. And get rid of a little bit more of the white. It is a snowy owl, so there could be some snow on the branches, so that's okay. So we got a nice branch for him to sit on, and it looks like these twigs, this actually looks like it's in the back too, since it's darker. Give it a little more. I guess we have another extra branch there too. Okay, so that's what it looks like. Now I'm going to let that dry and switch to a different paper. You could use any kind of background that you wanted. Maybe you want to even paint the background like a sunset or a twilight color, which would mean kind of a lighter at the bottom, maybe a lighter blue going up to a black if you wanted to paint it yourself. You could use red paper for a red sunset. On my final, I chose just a night sky kind of thing. I've got my other brush, this little guy here, and like I said, I've got some yellow and some white. What I'm going to do is make a little moon and some stars. So I'll start out with, I'm going to start out with a white, and I'll probably put the owl right about here. So we'll do a moon probably like right there. And it's just twisting the brush like that. I'm starting out with white because I'm going to put yellow on top. We'll put some stars because it is kind of a starry night. So, yeah, just a little twinkly star. They don't have to be perfect, of course. Do a couple more, just like a little, you know, your A-frame kind of star, like that. Do another one right here. I'm using the tip of the brush and dragging it through there. Just the very tip, because this is the angle brush again. And remember how I showed before that you just pull and drag it up a little bit from where you're at. Now, we're also going to have a little bit of snow since it's snowing out. You can see a little bit of stars, but the snow's coming in. And we've always got to have snow everywhere, you know. Okay. Then I'm going to come in with a little bit of yellow to make these stars a little more twinkly. And I picked up a little bit of yellow, blend that in with the white that was already on the brush. And we'll make the moon a little yellowy. Just paint right over what you've got there. You can go backwards. So there's your moon. And then we'll get a little bit more yellow for some yellowy stars. Just go right over the star again. Try not to get your arms in your snowflakes that you made too. Just watch that. And I picked up a little bit here and I'm just kind of tapping it so it goes into the brush and it's not a big clump at the end of the brush. There. So there we've got some yellow twinkly stars and some snowflakes. I think I want to add like one more drop of white, so I'll wipe this off as much as possible. You can dip it in your water. I neglected to get water this time, but I'll just dip the end of the brush in there. That way it doesn't mess up my palette. And put a couple more dots right about here. I think that's good. Put one down there. There. And when you're done, you know, you could put your palette inside of your plastic baggie with your wet paper towel and save it that way. One note about if you save those and they eventually will end up drying out because somehow there's always a hole in those baggies. When your palettes gotten kind of hard, you can start, if it's acrylic paint, you can start kind of peeling it off. And then make sure the stuff you peel off, if there's a lot of it, put that in the garbage so you don't clog up the sink. Once you get it cleaned off pretty well, you might need some paper towels. Once you get it all cleaned off, you can go ahead and wash it with soap and water. I usually do mine in the utility tub. That way I've got plenty of room, and if I'm splashing paint around, it doesn't get somewhere that I don't want it to. Okay, so here's the little spot where we're going to put our snowy guy. I've got some construction paper. The yellow is for his eyes. Scrap paper that I've been saving. This was from another project. This is going to be for his feet. I had some black. Oh, I used the black here. I'll get some more black, and then you need some paper towels. Let's see here. What else? Oh, I've got these doilies too. These are to add as like snowflakes, kind of, or snow on your, you could put them on the branches there too, kind of how snow collects there. You could even have painted snow right on your branches there too. Just kind of put little dots and pounce it around a little bit. Make little snow piles. I could show you one. Make a little snow pile like right here. You know how it piles up in on the branch there like that? And then it ends up melting eventually. So there's a little bit right there. So what I was painting earlier was these little tart kind of mini cupcake holder papers. And this is going to be used for his eyes. So I ended up, they were yellow. You can see the little yellow there. And I just took the paint, held it in the middle there, and kind of brushed off. And then did the same. In the center, I brushed a little bit because we're going to actually put yellow in the middle there. So I didn't worry too much about having that painted inside. So I'm going to go ahead and get started with his body first. And basically you're just going to start tearing toilet paper, or paper towel, excuse me. Trying to make it in little triangles. And you might get the idea already that it's going to be a little puffball of a little owl. So what I'm going to do is, I think, you know, since they have little eyes that go kind of like that to begin with, I think I'm going to try something like that. They don't have much for ears, but we're going to just put a little indication of one just because we're used to seeing that. And then we just put little puffies all over. And I'm going to start gluing this down. And it's just with some Elmer's glue. Make sure that that little cap, when it dries, is off of there. And just put a little, just a little bit, not big globs. Spread it around a little. And it's already looking like a snow owl. So I'm starting with like an outline first. I really can't wait to see what you guys do with this. I think it's a cute project, and I think the outcomes are going to be different because everybody sees what an owl looks like a little bit differently. You can look these guys up online too. Apparently there was one in the tree at Rockefeller Center this Christmas. That's in New York. So he was hanging out in there and they found him. Kind of a cute story. Alright, I'll put this up that way. Get his little eye parts down. Like that. If you have a like a bottle that's bigger than this, you can always just keep filling these up. That's kind of the nice thing about the squeeze bottles, is they can open up right here and you can keep adding to it. It saves some money if you go through a lot of glue like I do. I know a few of your families out there do that. I'm going to get some bigger pieces and fill in his body. Could probably do a little bit this size like that to be his down feathers in the front, maybe over his belly, kind of like that. So you can see how this is coming together. It's looking pretty cute. Just got to get a little bit more through here. Pretty easy project here. And you're just using some regular around the house stuff. I'm gonna pick that up, put this guy down instead. I liked it better. Then we'll come back with that one. So you can see the glue coming through there. The other thing that I'm gonna try to cover that up, but the other thing I saw out there was somebody had some feathers on here, just kind of mixed in. I thought that was kind of cute. That's totally something I would do, but I couldn't find any feathers out there in the world. So I just kind of went with this, and there's even probably better towels out there. When I was in the bathroom at one point, I thought of taking some of the paper towels that were there to dry your hands, because they would have went perfect with this project. They were a little thicker and they had a different texture, so you could kind of put more in here, definitely, to do like more texture, make it more layered, dimensional. So I'm going to start filling in his body a little more. And you don't have to worry so much about the middle here because the eyes will go there. But let's see, try that. See, the eyes are going to go right about there. I'm going to maybe stick a little more in there. I didn't use the glue because it's got glue behind it that I know I can see through it, that hasn't dried, so I think that's about good for me. Gonna make some feet now. I'm gonna fold this in half like that, pretend this isn't there, and I'm just gonna make little lines. And remember, I said before to always try to cut two at once. So I'm just gonna do like a kind of a W shape for a claw, just going up and down like that, and then that way his little feet will match. So I got like that. And then if you open it up, this was kind of together. They're about the same. Now if I just put them right in here, he'll be hanging on to his little branch, just like that. glue them down. You don't have to cover this with glue either, because you know how I say just to let it hang off, and then it'll give it more dimension that way too. So there's his little feet in there. Bring them down a little bit, and we can cover that little spot with some more towel. We'll do something like this. And that should do it. There. So there's his little body. We need the eyes back, so we're going to do something like that. And I think I'm going to stick them together a little more. The only thing with painting this is it did stretch it out. I kind of like the idea of having them round. So if you get these, get the white ones so they're white ahead of time instead of having to paint them, because they would look so much cuter if they were just sitting up. The other thing you could do is these little drinking cups. You could probably just cut down something like that. Oh, or you could use bottle caps. Those would go nicely right there too. And I do have some of those. Let's see. Some bottle caps. Ah, that's kind of cute. I would say paint them first, maybe a white, and then you would put the yellow inside. And then to figure out what size you need, got this handy dandy circle cutter, template. Looks like that. And you can figure out what size the hole is that you're going to want to cut, or the piece of paper. So it's probably like that. Trace it onto your paper, cut it out, glue it in there. So I kind of like that. I might do the other one like that. We'll see. You could do like that too. And actually, for my instance, since I painted those, I don't like it. I think I might just use this. Same principle. I just happen to like this better. So I'm going to glue these on. Then I'm going to cut out some of the yellow. Let's do this. Let's figure out exactly what size we're going to use for the circle for his eyes. And it's this one right here, the 7/8. So if you have bottle caps, you might want to do the 7/8 one. I have a pen. I'm going to just trace it. Do another one right next to it. Cut them out. I like to do things a little quicker if possible, so that's why I chose the bottle caps idea. So I'll put that on the list of ingredients instead of the pie, or what do you call them, the cupcake papers. Cut this out. And then when I glue this down, I'm going to use the side that doesn't have the pen marking on it. There. Put a little glue. This might not stick because it is the Elmer's glue, but we'll try it. could always use hot glue too. I put a bunch in there. There. Just push it down a little. Layer. Then we're gonna take a Sharpie, draw little eyes in there, little pupils. And there. Okay, we need black again. And this, for this, I'm just doing the teardrop shape. Can kind of draw it out. So it's gonna look like the carrot nose, kind of like that. Just a little beak, and cut that out. Little beak. And then that's gonna go right there. So we'll glue them on. I collect bottles caps from different places too, so that's why I ended up having some of that on hand. We don't usually use bottles so much, but there's his little beak. Here's their little snowy owl. And then the reason I had these little guys, these were $1 at the dollar store. Open up the package, maybe. I'll just get the little guy out. I think there's a few in there. I think they just get stuck together. Yep. So you can kind of tear this and put little clumps all around. Like, see, there's little mountains of snow down there behind them on the ground. Do that. Oh, and there's lots of thin layers, so you got the ground down below there. And let's see. The other thing you can do is take these little balls and kind of put them all over on your paper like this. And you got more snow. They kind of look like bugs the way I did that one, but you get the idea. Snowflakes. I got them stuck together here, so. Come on, buddies. Okay, well. Anyway, that's how they are working. So you just glue this on, and I'm going to leave it like this because when I move it, let's see, make sure that you don't get, you got to kind of get into the bigger spots here and don't worry about the tiny ones because it'll be harder to get up. But you can put a little bit of glue on the outside and in the bigger spots where the paper is. And I'm not gluing down here because what I'll do is I'll just cut it off at the bottom here. So I just glued that down and glue this guy. And the top part. Like that. And then we'll use this little piece. That might come off the edge, but that's okay. I can cut that off. So there's the snow mounds underneath. Yeah, that did go off the edge, but that's okay. So, oh, I didn't glue these down. Okay. Put little snowflakes out there. There. This one I know was 2, but oh, wait, there we go. Yeah. All right. That one out there, and let's put this one over here. That's pretty cute. Got big snowflakes, little snowflakes. Got the mounds of snow below. And then we'll just cut that bottom off like this. Try to be steady here. There. So there he is, a little snowy owl with the bottle caps for eyes. Alright, I'll put this aside and I'll show it to you at the end again. Over there. Okay. Dump off this. I'm protecting my work surface. Doing pretty good today. Okay. And everything's dry, so I just turn it over. So now we're going to do some snowy owls. Let's see. Use this. So it's going to be a little owl, and he's going to be, this is his body. It's just pine cone and cotton. Dollar store cotton balls. I think I used about 6 of them maybe for this one. This is a little bigger. It's the pine cones that are kind of spread out a little more. The ones that are tighter together, it's hard to get them in. It's even hard to get it in right there. You could use some tweezers or something to get it in there. Even this one seems okay. If they've got a little bit of something going on up there, that's okay too. I like this one because it had little pokies at the top. I thought it'd be cute for his little ears or whatever. This one has it too. So let's see. We pull this apart. This is the cotton. Let's see. Maybe you can see it better if I do this. There. Pull it apart, and it kind of wants to go in like a line, sort of. So I'm going to use that line of cotton and just kind of go around. You can start wherever. Just make sure you fill it all up. And just stuffing it in there, in between all the little leaves, so to speak. And then kind of make it stick out a little bit so it looks like kind of full. Pull this out. Just start stuffing in there. So you can see it's filling in pretty good. Pull that. Then this is a tight one. If it breaks a little bit, I found out that that doesn't matter so much. You've probably heard that snap. You just cram it in there. Try not to break them, but it's not going to hurt if you do. too. They're not falling off though. So this is the 5th one that I've used or am using. This guy was already a little broken out in the world somehow. Maybe when he fell, maybe somebody stepped on him, or who knows. Just stuff it in there. And then right there, I'll try using these guys. Yeah. That'll hold it in too. There. Looks like we need a little bit more. 1, maybe 2. We'll see. If it comes apart, that's all right too. I just kept it in there together because it was easier to, I don't know, to make it seem more fluffy, I think. So I'll do 1 more. So this is a empty spot right here where it didn't have the little pine cone leaves. I'm sure there's a name for it. That's where it stores the seeds, but I don't know what the name is. So I'm gonna go from down below, where there was a little, just stuff her in there again. There. That's what your snowy owl starts out to be. And I'll probably put the eyeballs right about here. And then on this one, probably right about here. Let's see. Okay. I have scrap felt. This is the more firm stuff. Oh, it's got a little sparkle on the back. That's cute. So I see, you know, I save this stuff, but I've got my little wiggly eyes, and for the eyes and the beak, I'm using, oh, this doesn't feel as stiff, but it's a little stiff. This is stiffer though, because putting the eyes on is going to be a little more tricky. And then this is for some wings. This is the bendable felt. I've got a little beak that I cut out. It's again that same shape that I used before, the little triangle with the rounded bottom. And I just eyeballed that, kind of like the last one. There was a little point over here that I took out. So like I could use this one and just cut a rounded bottom. And then there's another beak with a little. That's why I always save the scraps. They're always good for these little projects. So I've got the beak, I've got the eyes, and this is for the backs of their eyes. I used my circle template again. I kind of looked at about what size my eyeballs were, and I figured out I wanted to have a little bit out on the outside of it. So I kind of guesstimated this one right here would be the best for this little guy. So see how this is firm. Not sure where I got this. I think I've had it for a little while. But I'll cut this out. Again, I'll glue this on with the pen side down. And I'm gonna think I'm gonna, I mean, you could do this. You could leave the eyes together. That'd be a little easier putting them on, I think. I actually had them pretty close together for that. We'll see how it looks in a minute. Okay, there. So there's the eyes. Let's see what they look like. Oh, not bad. We could leave it like that. So it's just 2 circles together if you want to do it that way. If not, that's okay too. I do have hot glue for this. Put the eyes on there. Watch out for it dripping, especially if it's sat for a little while. Watch your fingers. Put a small amount. I'm going to put the eyes on here first. Little googly eyes. And remember, all those strings can come off later. Right now they might ruin your project because you might be pulling things apart on them. So that came pretty close to my fingers, but I'm okay. Alright, so that one stuck to my... There. Got it. I'll finish up on this bigger one. So I'm going to glue the beak on. I'll kind of put it right there. Right on that one little spot that's sticking out already. Right there. And what do you know, that piece was one that broke too. Okay, the eye is kind of dried now, so I can pick off that little bit of glue that got stuck on there. I'll put these eyes right there. I'm going to put the glue on the actual yellow part. So I do have the drawing side with the glue on it, so that's a part you're not going to see. Put the little eyes on him. There. That's cute. So now he just needs some wings. For the wings, he's gonna get some white wings, and they're going to have little lines on them because this little snowy owl, he kind of has little black in him. So it's gonna be that same shape again that we did for the beak. Make it easy for you. And we're gonna cut maybe once. We're gonna try. That way we'll have the same wing size. So I'm just gonna figure out about how big I want his wings. I want them to go about like that. So I want them to be about that long. And so I'm going to kind of draw a little roundness shape here. And then remember the little angle. So it's just another bigger beak. Same idea. On this, we're going to keep the black side up where you traced. If you don't want to, you don't have to either, but I'm going to just kind of draw little feathery looking lines on here. They're just little U's. Just like that. And then I'll do the other one too. Then we'll decide. We'll see what it looks like. So I've got these heavier scissors. They work pretty good. And you can hear them cutting probably. Sometimes you need to back up a little while you're cutting. It's kind of a weird thing, but you back your scissors up and it helps with the friction, or I'm not exactly sure what it's helping, but it cuts it better. All right. So it's not a perfect point, but that's okay too. I'll just trim a little bit on there, and you can't even tell. So it's just round it out. Wing. And then other wing. So since we want them to be the same, I'm going to flip it over like this, and actually I think I'm hearing you say that I can't trace this other side, right? So it's not going to look the same. Alright, so we'll just open them up and we'll put the wing marks on the other side on this one. It's just random U's kind of all over. Hold your felt down. That gets tricky a little until you can get over there. We'll do a couple more there. So they kind of match. You know, not every wing is going to be the same, right? All right, so we want one wing on one side and one on the other. We'll put them right about there. And get an idea what he's going to look like. Just like that. He's so cute. He looks happy. All right, let's see. This might be tricky. I'm going to just put some glue on here and see where it lands. Try to hit one of the little brown guys that are poking out there. I'm just pressing down so that it'll catch those. It seems to work. And I'll do this side. We're going to put the glue on this side because that's the side I had traced, and I don't have tracing all over. Need more glue. Okay, we got it. Here it comes. All right. And try to match it up. Let's see. Does it look about right? That's pretty good. I'll bring it down a little. There. So he's got his little wings. He's got his beak and his eyes. Oh, he's cute. So I'll put that picture out there for you. And thanks so much for joining us. Here's your other snowy owl. So you got two little snowy owls here. And let's see if he can stay. There. And then if you get into this a lot, if you really love snowy owls, you can, I forgot I did this a while back too until I started looking at this other project, but I painted this one, and basically what we did is the little the branch, I just added some leaves because this was more like a harvest moon or something. I think I just found this image online and I just said, hey, I just want to try it. I wanted to play and have fun with it. So I did my own little snowy owl and got his little feet on the branch, kind of like we did here. We got a moon, different kind of a moon. And he's got snow. Or, nope, you know what? They're not snow in this one. They're actually stars. Because we had leaves here. I think it was autumn. So, there's that. And here's our project. Thanks again for joining. And we'll see you again next time. Make sure that you show us your photos and like us. And watch the other videos too. They're pretty informative. We've got lots of things going on at the rec department too. So check out our Facebook page and also the web page, porthuron.org, and you can get to the recreation department just like that. Thanks a lot. Take care.